And welcome to the latest installment of the FHM 7 Murph of the Bolt series, which we've been doing a little while, last few months. This is part 14, and this month we're going to look at March of 1994 as the Tampa Bay Lightning, who now play at the glorious Thunderdome in St. Petersburg, which would eventually be named Tropicana Field, have been playing now 2 seasons. We're almost at the end of season number 2. That is my Coke, by the way, not an alcoholic beverage. And a pleasant good afternoon to you all as I record this on April 13th for a little bit later in the evening. I was a little sick yesterday. Let's just say I had more runs than a baseball game. Ba-dum-bum. And it cleared up by the evening, so I did Grand Slam Wrestling, and I taped that for 7:30 tonight. So if we're not going to see this between now and 7:30, and I'll put this up at 8:30. Actually, no, I'm going to put it up at, 8:30 will be fine. 8:30 will be fine. We're at March 1st. In the 1993-94 season, we have 55 points. We're 25, 34, and 3. And let's show you what happened after we left you in February. It wasn't a good month after all, after such a promising month in January. The games we didn't do, we lost 6-3 to New Jersey, 4-2 to the New York Islanders, but we had a kind of a signature win over Montreal, goosing them 6-zip. And then we came back and beat the Devils 4-2, lost to Boston 2-1, to Calgary, Vancouver, and Edmonton, all coming up in the loss column. So we went, let's see, 1-2, 2-2, 2-3, 2-4, 2-5, 3-5, 4-5, and then we lost 4 in a row to go 4-9 in February. Like I said, after a promising month last month, we are back to where we were, which we're not doing too badly. I will say that. As you can see here, we are in 11th place in our conference. Brian Bradley leading with 18 goals, also leading in assists with 24 and points at 42. And let's see here, we're 21st in goals scored, but we're 6th in goals against heading into the start of the month of March. We start the month of March in Landover, Maryland at the Cap Center, where Tampa Bay will be playing the Washington Capitals. So we will just continue here. And again, the face gen is all screwed up, but this is nothing new. Beat the Washington Senators, not Washington Senators, that's baseball, or was baseball. They're now the Washington Nationals, of course. Beat Washington 2 out of the last 3 meetings, and Washington came back and beat us 3-1 in February. So let's play the game and get started here. Just finishing up doing some Glory Days boxing. Great board game. And I have a feeling if you like hockey, you probably will like a little Glory Days boxing. We'll do our next televised fight probably Thursday with Glory Days. Tony Tubbs and Tyson Fury going at it. I'll advertise that right here and now. And tomorrow, if you're seeing this Wednesday, we'll do some OOTP. Lord willing, if creek don't rise, and if I don't get in an accident. Pat Ellenuk holding Tampa Bay on the power play. Their power play now up to 12, and Washington's power play a little suspect at 79. I'm sorry. If it was 99, it would be very good. 7-1 Tampa Bay to start the first period. And we'll try to go on for about an hour and play 5 games for you all. It's April 13th. A couple of days after Hideki Matsuyama won the Masters in Augusta for 2021, the first Japanese player to win a United States major, so we congratulate him. The Lightning are going on, the Rays are going on, a lot of news on the offseason about the Buccaneers and who they might acquire to successfully defend their Super Bowl. Doesn't look like they're settling for just one Super Bowl win. Looks like they're going to try to go for a repeat. Of course, nobody's ever won the Super Bowl 3 times. And let's see who gets the first goal here. It's Tampa in the white-gray, and I think it's the Caps in red here. As you look at where the puck is. Where the puck is the puck. And who's going to get the first goal here? If we hear a horn, it's Washington. If we hear boos, it's Tampa Bay. 6:59 left in the first period. Capitals have only one shot amassed so far, so if they get a goal here, it'll be kind of fluky. End-to-end action. Got to think Tampa Bay would have the better odds the way the game has been going. Getting a score here. Just back and forth we go. Now the Lightning make a push, and there's the goal. 1-0 Tampa Bay. Kenny Johnson assisted by Brian Bradley and Rob DeMaio. We were talking in the last episode about the 1994 Winter Olympics in Lillehammer, Norway. The winner, according to how FHM 7 simmed it, of the Olympic Games, taking the gold medal, was Norway. Norway winning it on their home ice, and they defeated Germany in the gold medal game. So look at the shot differential here, 19-1. Tripping against Jeff Greenlaw, so the Lightning will now add to their shot total going on the power play. This is kind of like one of those NBA games you see once in a while where a team maybe gets 4 points a quarter. And Hatcher for slashing. So Tampa Bay now 5-on-3 for 21 seconds, and then they'll be 5-on-4 for another minute 39. And we go to the... No, we do not go to the end of the first period as the Lightning give the penalty back. Joe Rickey, eye sticking. And now we end the first period. Look at the shot total, 22-1 Tampa Bay. My goodness, we'll start the second and see what happens. Washington shooting like an adult film star who's 75 years old, not too much. 24 shots to 1. And now the Caps finally get a shot to go 2, up to 2. So it's 24-2. Second period, first game of 5. We'll show you the first games of March. Next month, we're going to show you the last 5 games of the regular season, if we have that many. So be pre-warned and forewarned about that. We have Kenny Johnson called for slashing, 5:07 into the second period. Of course, the real-life Tampa Bay Lightning of 2021, they got off to a good start, but they have been struggling as of late. And as I record this, they are about 2 hours away from playing the Nashville Predators. Jonas Bergquist cross-checking. So the Caps, now with a 5-on-3 for a little bit. Of course, the Lightning got stuck in a tough division, too, with Nashville and Dallas being good teams. Shots are now 26-5. But the Lightning only have 1 goal to account for it. And the Florida Panthers have improved pretty well. And here we go. Who's going to score the goal here? It'll be either 2-0 Bolts or it'll be 1-1. Be hard to believe if the Caps get a goal. And they do. They do get a goal with their 7th shot. Damphousse, who is just on a hot streak coming into when we started play in March. Hatcher and Pavanka, he had I think it was a game streak where he picked up at least 1 point. So we're dead even 1-1 in a game the Bolts should be dominating. Midway through this first game. Eight and a half gone by. And now the Capitals getting some shots off. It's the shot deficit now 28-11. Interference, Sylvain Cote, the Lightning go on the power play. Let's see. Bradley playing well. He's the standout so far for Tampa. About 6 minutes to go. Tripping, Joe Rickey, so the Caps get a power play. Shots are now 29-14, so they have made much progress since that first period where I think Lightning for a long time had all the shots but 1. I know the game has 3D. I happen to like this setup from Franchise Hockey Manager 6, where you could just see the game go on the left side of your screen, and you could just. I don't think their 3D play-by-play engine has been perfected quite just yet. So now on Out of the Park Baseball, that's what I use all the time. Is I use the 3D animations. But I just like the quick, concise look of this setup here, the 2D. And plus, I get more games in. If I did the 3D, it'd be a game every 20 minutes. If I do this, it's probably like a game every 12 to 15. So we've moved to the third period, and it's been a total role reversal. The Caps have gotten all the shots as of late, and they're the Lightning get a shot off to go up 30-19. But it's dead even at a goal each. So I'll put this up at 8:30 and we'll get all caught up. And tomorrow we'll do OOTP Perfect Team and boxing. From Big Paulie's Fight Night will be Thursday. And Friday, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. Because Action PC Football was supposed to be released this week. It was not. And we have a scoring chance here. I believe it will be the Lightning going up 2-1. They do. Adam Creighton, assisted by AstraZeneca and Ramage. Midway through the third, it's 2-1 Bolts. I don't think Tampa Bay makes the playoffs this year in the game, the 93-94 season. Caps looking for that goal to tie it up. They get it. Damphus again, Vivanka and Hunter, and we're dead even 2-2. What kind of name is that for a dog? It's an old joke. We have Damphus gets called for hooking, so the team scores, gives up the penalty that gives the Lightning now a chance at a goal. Some scoring opportunities here. They're now pouring on the shots. It's 39-21. So they seem to have momentum going into the latter stages of this third period. We play a 5-minute overtime in 93-94 NHL hockey. Should we be tied, and if we're still tied after that, that's it. Which is the way I always used to like it. I'm not a big fan of the shootout because the shootout is just exclusive to regular season games. It's like the 10-minute overtime the NFL uses. You don't see that in playoff game, so why would you have it in regulation? And Konowalchuk puts the Caps up 3-2, and Saku Koivu got the assist. So now Tampa Bay is going to have to consider pulling the goalie when they get a minute. I'm looking at Tugnut. Tugnut's staying in. Tugnut and Olaf Kozig were the goalies. There's the empty net. And no, the Bolts can't get a goal. The Caps win a game they probably shouldn't have. 3-2. They win 2 in a row over Tampa Bay. Vivanka, Creighton, and Kolzig were the stars of the game. Nobody had a bad... Oh, Joe Rickey had a bad game for Tampa Bay. So we will continue on, play through, see what news items there are. We're about 3/4 of the way through the season. And let's just see. Night to remember for Brett Hull. Hull had a game where he scored 4 goals in a 6-3 win over the Islanders. Craig Janney, a strong game lately, and that very same 6-3 Blues win over the Islanders. And we were 4-10 last month. Okubo unhappy about your work as general manager of the Tampa Bay Lightning. You have to get the team back on track very soon. No stopping Bob Carpenter. And he plays for the Florida Panthers. He had a hat trick, but they lost to the Devils 5-3. Paul Coffey had both his point streak and his assist streak end. The assist streak was 9 games and the point streak was 12. Brian Ballows, 400 goals. He plays for Montreal, and they beat Anaheim 3-0. Kirk Muller has picked up his 300 goal, and he picked it up the same day that Bellows picked up his 400 in the same game. Ogrodnik has played 1,000 games. He's playing with the Anaheim Mighty Ducks, John Ogrodnik. And some scouting reports on new players. So we have played now 25, 35, and 5, 55 points. We will play New Jersey next in the second game. Continue. It'll be Terreri in goal for the Devils and John Casey in goal for Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay beat New Jersey 4-2 in their last game. But it's usually the Devils who get the better of us, winning 6-3 on February 13. And in the early part of the regular season, the Devils won 3-1. Scott Stevens, 56 games played, 6 goals. His plus minus is a 3. But let's just drop the puck and get this started. Tampa is the home team, so they're playing under the big dome. And we're 15 minutes. Might just do 4 games today. Just it'll depend on when the 4th game ends. If not, if we have it hit an hour on my timer, we'll just go 5. Try to go the extra mile for my fans. Okay, we've only had 1 shot so far, first 4 minutes of the game. Now, the board might not be happy with my performance, but I am. I'm just glad to be out of last place in the Eastern Conference. And if I get fired, and in Franchise Hockey Manager, from what I hear, firings are rare, I'll just take over another team, and we'll just continue the series onward. So we're moving right along. 8 minutes gone by, first period. No penalties as of yet. Scoring chance goes to the Devils, and they get it. Bobby Holik, assisted by Richer and Seger, Sidney Seger, and it is 1-0 in favor of New Jersey. So the Lightning have now lost 5 in a row. Like I said, after some promise in January, the promises seem to have disappeared. Halfway through the first period, shots are 5-2 in favor, 5-3 now in favor of the Devils. And from what I remember, the Devils had a pretty good team around this time. Seger, 2 minutes for slashing. Around this time frame, they nearly made the Stanley Cup in real life, 1994. They got beat by the Rangers. Boarding, Doug Brown, in the semifinals. I think they lost in 7 games, and they lost the 7th game in overtime. So the Rangers in '94 got off the schneid and won a Stanley Cup, and they haven't won a Stanley Cup since. Kind of like the Chicago Cubs recently did in 2016. They've won a Stanley Cup, but they haven't won one since. Fighting, we got Mike Hartman and Troy Millette going at it. They duked it out. They'll sit for 5, at least. Shots now even 8-8, and now the Devils take the lead 9-8. So can the Bolts come back and equalize here late in the first period? And the answer would be to be determined. As you look at the display here on the bottom. And it's 2-0 New Jersey. My, oh my. Richer, assisted by Holik and Seger. And it's 2-0, or cigarettes. Okay, so 2:18 now left. Holding against Kieness, Kienass. Dennis Leary, thanks you. Who I just saw on Kelly Ripa and Ryan Seacrest's show a few days ago. I think it was last week. We're now down to 30 seconds left, first period. And that's that for the first. 11-8 on shots. And we'll drop the puck for the second. Chris Terreri came in red hot. His heat level was a 5. And Casey was cold coming into the game. So it looks like, in other words, I think what it's trying to tell me is Terreri is going to be, it's going to be hard to put a biscuit in the basket against him. And that would seem to be true of the shots being even right now, 12-12, but the Devils have both goals. Starting to feel summer-like here in the Tampa Bay area of Florida. We're now almost at the middle of April. It's been in the 80s most days. We had a wave of thunderstorms come through Sunday, giving us, well, from where, depending on where you live in the area, we got an inch of rain to 3. I think I got something close to 2. And an injury to Adam Creighton of the Bolts, a tender elbow. So halfway through the game, 2-0, Bolts trailing. See if the Lightning can get off the schneid here. Dave Barr called for tripping. Devils have an 81% penalty kill, and Tampa Bay's power play is only at 12. They don't score a lot, but they keep a lot of goals off the board, the Bolts do. Now, can the Lightning get a goal here on the red-hot Chris Terreri? There you go. Adam Creighton and his tender elbow. Varetsky and Crossman assisting. 2-1. And there's hope for the Bolts yet with 8 minutes left in the second. Long way to go in this game. Doug Crossman cross-checking. So New Jersey, who has a very lethal power play at 25%, gets a crack at it for 2. 30, 20, 10. Last 10 seconds. And Tampa Bay successfully kills the power play. Under 5 minutes now. Shots are almost dead even. 16-15 Devils. With 4 minutes now left. Boarding for Hammerlick, 2-minute minor. And again, New Jersey gets the chance. They have a 1 in 4 chance of scoring a goal on the power play. So we'll watch the penalty timer here very intently. Under a minute, under 30. And Tampa Bay has successfully killed off another power play. Shots 19 all now. Last minute of the second. Johnson playing the best game right now for the Bolts. And we go to the third at 2-1 in favor of New Jersey. Bolts trying to get a successful outcome here to avoid losing 6 in a row. And we're rolling right along in the third period. And like I said, if I get fired, I would just continue to general manage, for another team, or maybe, somebody's national team. Maybe, United Kingdom needs some help with their hockey team, or, Kazakhstan. Well, Kazakhstan was probably, they would have been around by 1994 because of the fall of the Soviet Union. But I think that would be fun, too, to try to coach up general manager up a international team. Okay, Lightning looking for the tie here with 9:24 in the third. Do they get it? Do they get it? Well, we won't know for a moment. Now the Devils have it. Lightning get it back. Devils get it back. Lightning get it back. And it's the Devils that scored. A devil inside, to quote the old In Excess song. Bobby Holik with an assist from Scott Stevens. 3-1 now. And it looks like the Bolts are going to lose their 6th game in a row. Mr. Okubo's son, the owner of the Lightning, probably has his pink slip ready to go for me. Under 7. And tripping against Vitolins of New Jersey, so Tampa Bay has a power play. They got to get a goal here with about 6 minutes to go. Have any shot at this? And this win will probably be all Chris Terreri because they have had an equal number of shots to this point, and Terreri has made 27 saves out of 28 shots. So he should be star of the game, or one of the stars. if the score holds up. Devils killed the power play. We're down to 2 minutes. Let's see if they keep Casey in goal or go for the empty netter. And a minute to go. Yeah, they go empty net. And that's it. 3-1, and the Bolts lose 6 in a row. Final shots were 33-32. They did not give Terreri a star. Nobody played bad on either team. Holik, Creighton, and Zedno Segar were the stars of this game. And we will go now to game number 3, which will be against Hartford. A little brass bonanza for you. Adam Oates had his streak end. Jeremy Roenick, 2 goals and 4 assists as the Blackhawks go over the Flames 8-2. Pavel Bure in a 7-2 win for Vancouver over St. Louis. He gets a goal and 4 assists. Jeff Courtnall in a 7-2 win for Vancouver. He got 3 goals, 2 assists. So a lot of players having big nights recently. Yager stays with Pittsburgh. Michael Pavanka had his point streak end at 13 games. So cue up Brass Bonanza as Hartford comes to town. As the Lightning look to get off the schneid. I'm gonna do AI lines for this game. Something I like to do just to shake things up a little bit. They've only played once this season. That was November 24th, and Hartford won 3-0. It's Burke against Tugnut in goal. Pat Verbeek, the star player for Hartford, with his 20 goals and 27 assists. 47 points over 63 games. Bradley is at 18 and 25 still. 18 goals, 25 assists. So this is game number 3, hopefully of 5. We hope to have, as they say in wrestling, some TV time remaining to do the 5th game of the month of March. And I sim the rest of the games out, and then we come back with April. Depending on how April goes, we'll probably do the last 5 games of the regular season. If there are fewer than 5, then we'll just play out all the games that we can. And then the following week, we'll come back and try to do Stanley Cup, or at least recap the playoffs. Which right now it's looking like the Lightning won't be in. Shots are 2-1, 3-1 now in favor of the Bolts. I could play Brass Bonanza on my phone, but then I would get in BMI ASCAP trouble. John Cullen, a hold. The Lightning go on the power play. I don't think John is related to Bill, the game show host of Days of Old. Ken Hodge returns to favor and goes into his sin bin, so it's going to be even strength 4-on-4 for a little bit. And Hartford will have a power play of a few seconds. Eleven and a half left, first period, no score. Bolts trying to avoid their 7th loss in a row. Which, as I said, when they had their red hot month in January, just something like this just doesn't seem possible. But as we often see in baseball, a team just gets some bad luck sometimes. Seven minutes left in the first. It's 8-2, Tampa Bay leading in shots. Anderson having a good game for the Lightning at left wing. As we look to see who gets the first goal. 12 shots to 2, Tampa Bay. Yaki, or Terry Yake, called for boarding. And it is Hartford it's Tampa Bay with the power play. Who is shorthanded would show up on the ledger of the visiting team or the home team. If it shows up on one team, that means they are one player short. 13-3 on shots in favor of Tampa Bay going into the final minute. And that's the period. 14-4 on shots, but no score going into the second. Bradley now has been playing good as of late in this game. Tripping against Mike Hartman And Hartford will now get the power play. As I now switch to water because I have run out of Coke, Hooking, Terry Yake, and the Lightning go back on the power play. Their power play percentage still 12, but Hartford, good penalty killing at 80. And I think 80 is the magic number. You want to, if you're penalty killing, you want to be 80 or better. Tripping against Zomner, Hartford goes on the power play. And when you're on offense with your power play, you want to be better than 20. And that's how I think, anyway. Being a Florida boy, what do I know about hockey? Anyway, 13 and a half left to go in the second. Still no score. Could we have a 65-minute draw here? Well, this isn't soccer. Somebody's going to get going here in a little bit. Under 12, it's now 16-4 on shots. Holding against Eric Weinrich, so Tampa Bay back on the power play. Scoring chance here for the Lightning, and when we see this little play-by-play, it means somebody has scored. So we'll be unscoreless here in a minute. Hartford with it, Tampa Bay with it, and there's your goal. It's Veritsky, assisted by Ken Hodge, and it's 1-0 in favor of the Bolts. Bolts need a win here in the worst way. It doesn't really matter if they make the playoffs here. I don't think they will, but they just need one. Try to keep their pride going and to keep me employed as the hypothetical GM of the Tampa Bay Lightning in 1994. Would have been 22 in 1994, but, you know, creative license. Shots are 21-4, which means Tampa Bay should be much farther ahead with under 7 to go in this game, the third game we have for you. In the second period, we are now at, on the timer, 32 minutes just about, so we should have time for 2 more games. First game seemed to have run long, even though it was a modestly low-scoring game. We did do a game on FHM 6 when I played Hartford. I think it was Detroit we played, and it was an 8-8 tie. So look that game up. Under 90 seconds, it's 28-4 Tampa Bay. This is incredible, but we only have 1 goal to show for it. And we have played it went 29-4 on shots. Hartford has only had 4 shots the whole game. We lead 1-0 going to the third. We lose this would be a crying shame. Under a minute, through a minute, it's now 31-4, 32-4 on shots. This is incredible. We got Brian Bradley at 72, his in-game rating. $33 shots to 4, 33 shots to 6. I'm sorry, but and Jonas Bergquist 2 minutes for interference, and Hartford's going to get a power play. With only 7 shots so far, and you can't wonder but think if they're going to get a goal here in the next 2 minutes. Well, under a minute left in the power play for Hartford, and the Lightning kill it off. 34-8. Looks like a high school football score. 35-8. Michael Sikora, high sticking. Lightning now go on the power play. I always thought, and I probably said this in a previous episode, that when the dome in St. Petersburg, which is, as I said, still being used by the Tampa Bay Rays, that when they got the expansion baseball team in 1995, instead of calling it the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, because we were the Devil Rays before we were the Rays, name changed in 2008, that a great name for the baseball team would have been the Tampa Bay Thunder. Because you could have had thunder and lightning in the Thunderdome. Okay, under 8 minutes left in the third. 37 shots to 12. They did not take my advice. They went with that stupid Devil Rays name. The Tampa Bay Rays is better, but the Tampa Bay Thunder would have been boss. Under 5 left. 39 to 12 on shots. Adam Burt has a lacerated finger. His finger is a crimson mask. 40 shots to 12. Hope you enjoyed Grand Slam Wrestling, as I will be putting this up after it has aired. Have that going at 7:30 tonight, and I'll have this up at 8:30. Jansen, delay of game. Lightning on the power play. Oh, they still need a goal. Randy Lodeker called for hooking, and we're not talking about going on US 19 in St. Pete right around 30th Street after the game is over with. 90 seconds to go. 90 seconds to go. We'll watch if they pull Sean Burke. Jansen, a penalty for Hartford. So the best they could do if they pull their goalie is 5-on-5. They do not pull the goalie. And the Bolts win one. 52 shots to 12, and they only win 1-0. But we'll take it right now. It was Burke with 51 saves, Lodeser for Hartford. How unusual is it for the 3 stars of the game, 2 of them being on the losing team, and Ken Hodge with the assist. So Tampa Bay finally gets off the schneid and wins a game after 7 straight losses. Final shots were 52-12. That's ridiculous. And Cam Neely was injured for Boston. The red light went on for a few times for Joey Janot of the Boston Bruins, as he scored 3 times, the hat trick, 9-2 over Ottawa. And Gordon Murphy had a good game in that 9-2 Boston win over Ottawa. He had 3 more goals and an assist. So we go on now and we play Philadelphia, the Fightin' Flyers. We're 26-36-5. We're at 57 points. This is the 4th game we'll get in today. I'm going to continue. I'm not going to AI my lines. Stefan Beauregard in goal for Philadelphia. Mark Recchi, their star player to watch. He has had 56 points, 64 games, nothing on the plus-minus. And Brian Bradley still stuck at 18 goals and 25 assists. John Casey in goal for the Bolts. And both goalies are cold, so we might see a few more goals in this one than we did just in our last game. And the way things are looking on the timer, we might have time for 2 more games. This being the 4th, and then another one. We'll see how fast we can get the 5th game in. We might get to do a 6th. And I was thinking at the very start of this, we'd only get 4 games in. We might get 6 in. But most likely we will get 5 in. It'll just depend on where we are on time once this game, the 5th game, is over with. So the Bolts win. The Flyers also had a very good team around this time, although you got to give them a couple of years before they really got good. I know they made a Stanley Cup around this time. I also follow the Vegas Golden Knights. Doug Crossman lived in Vegas a couple of times, not for very long. Doug Crossman tripping. So the Flyers get a power play. But you got to have money to be in Las Vegas, and on those 2 occasions, I really didn't care about money. And you should care about money. Whatever you think you need to go live in Vegas, you probably need twice that amount. So let's see who gets the first goal. With 1 team in white and 1 team in gray, it's going to be hard to see who it is. Who is the home team? Who is the away team? And it's the Bolts on the board first. Igor Veritsky, assisted by Mikael Anderson, 1-0. Shots are even, 3-3, almost midway through the first period. Of course, Vegas now with a hockey team and a football team. And there was a time I was wondering which city would get a team first, Las Vegas or London, England. Of course, London already has a whole bunch of soccer teams and so forth, but I mean, in a North American, either baseball, hockey, basketball, or football team, most likely it would have been the NFL. But Las Vegas now has 2 teams. I think there would be a natural one day for basketball, and the way land is swapped around in Las Vegas with the casinos, who knows? Maybe they will have at one point a baseball team. Of course, you'd have to build a larger park for Las Vegas, kind of like Colorado with the elevation. Las Vegas is about a couple thousand feet high in altitude. Not Denver by any stretch of the imagination, but Like for instance, Cashman Field. I wish I could have gone to Cashman Field. Of course, now they got a new park out there for the 51s. They were the 51s. Now they're the Aviators, Las Vegas Aviators, kind of a Howard Hughes kind of thing. Of course, Hughes was a regular in Vegas in the last years of his life. And Bergquist with the goal. Bergevin on the assist, and we're at 2-0 in favor of Tampa Bay. I think you'd have to build an extra large ballpark for Las Vegas, kind of like Coors Field in Colorado. And even then, you might not be able to contain all the offense. Minute to go. Shots are even 7-7, but the Bolts have that 2-0 lead. Beauregard having a bad opening period in goal, and we'll go to the second with the Bolts leading 2-0. And I would think Vegas should get another team because their economy has really suffered with COVID. And I think it would be nice if they. But again, if you can't allow fans into the games, what's the point? In the news, there were some very discouraging signs about COVID. There was the Johnson and Johnson vaccine that the government basically said, no, you're not giving it to anybody else. Penalty against Doug Crossman. Because they were finding people were getting blood clots. So you just got the 2 vaccines, and you pretty much got to go to a drive-in to get it. And once you get 1 shot, you got to get the 2nd shot. And the Johnson & Johnson would have been nice because it would have just been 1 shot. Horvath called for tripping. So each team with a man in the sin bin, and Tampa Bay will get a delayed power play, which they have just started. Shots are 12-11 in favor of Philadelphia. And of course, the thing with the vaccines is that you got all these strains out there from South Africa and Brazil, and there is open doubt that they're going to be able to, that the vaccine's going to be able to handle someone who has those strains. So let's see who gets the next goal here. And it is the Bolts. I was going to say, if it was the Bolts, it's looking good for them. Hartman with a lacerated finger. 3-0 Tampa Bay, and they're really putting on the show here against the Flyers. So 3-0 in favor of Tampa Bay. As we play along, I was looking on something on my phone, folks, sorry. Under 2.5, Bolts leading on shots now 15-14. Beauregard has given up 3 goals, and Casey with the hot hand in this game. Major injury for Mo Mantha, torn ankle ligaments, so we have each team with an injury as we head to the 3rd period. Bradley, another strong performance out of him this game. Bergevin with a 68 on the game rating, so he's playing well. We go to the 3rd, even on shots almost, and it's 3-0 Tampa Bay. Of course, in Vegas, you got all the extended stay places one could stay, but, not a lot of them are safe or in good neighborhoods. A lot of people will panhandle you, and a lot of prostitutes will come up to you if you look like if you have money, and they won't look at you. They'll just say, they'll just proposition you. I'm not going to say the exact wording, but here's the Flyers, and they get a goal. That is Kevin Dineen, Waltz, and Mark Ricky getting the goal, 3-1. And another goal right off the draw. Horvath, assisted by Lindros. It's 3-2. So very quickly, let's see how quick the goals were here. 12 seconds apart. So Paul Porter, who is longtime public address announcer, voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning, going back to their inception, was probably reading the who got the goal and who got the assist on the first goal when the second one came. So just like that, and that's why they always say the 3-0 lead's the most dangerous lead in hockey. Philly has a 23-15 lead on shots. And this next goal now, very crucial, if we have it. Neen against Kevin Dineen, and Tampa Bay goes on the power play. Pat Albiani. Of course, Pat Sajak, a lot of criticism of him as of late hosting Wheel of Fortune, but he's been doing it over 40 years. Bolts get a goal back. AstraZeneca assisted by Bureau, and it's 4-2. This is where my mind goes when I'm trying to fill an hour. Under 8 to go, third period. Shots are 25-19 now in favor of the Flyers. Slashing against Rob Ramage, so the Flyers with a scoring chance. And yes, the Flyers get a goal. It's not over yet for them. The Neen redeems himself. Galley and Lindros. Lindros with 2 assists in this game, hooking against AstraZeneca. So now the Flyers have a power play and a chance to tie. Don't let this game slip away, guys. 3.5 to go. Going to be a tense couple of minutes here. Let's see if the Bolts can win 2 in a row. Under 2, we'll watch Beauregard, see if they pull him. Under a minute. He's staying in goal. Under 30, under 10. Bolts win. Bolts win 4-3. 31-19, the Flyers outshot the Lightning, but it was Hammerlick, Lindros, and Bergevin getting the stars of the game. And the Bolts have now beaten the Flyers 3 straight. We continue on. We're now at 47 minutes and 20 seconds into our presentation for you today. Hawerchuk, 500 goals for him. He plays with Buffalo. Teemu Selanne of the Jets with a 3-goal effort and a 6-4 win over Pittsburgh. Strong night for Alexei Shamnov in that same game. Dougie Gilmour, day-to-day with an injury. He's with the Maple Leafs. Brett Hull suspended. He will miss the next 2 games. Jim Johnson also suspended. We'll get to that in a minute. Teemu Selanne, 4 assists in the 5-0 win over the Islanders. Johnson suspended. He's with the Dallas Stars. Dave Andreychuk, a great game with Buffalo in a 5-3 win. He had a hat trick. And Hawerchuk, in that same game, had 4 assists. So back up to Hartford for what will likely be the last game we have for you today. Bolts are now 27-35-1. And let's drop the puck and play this one out. And next month we'll come back, probably do the last 5 games of the regular season, but like I said, it will depend on the schedule of those April games, which I have not seen yet. Maybe I should see it before it's over with. If you missed it earlier, Norway in the simulation won the 1994 Olympic Games, winning the gold medal over Germany. Shots are 3-5 Hartford. This game at the Hartford Civic Center. Of course, Hartford had to use the arena in Springfield, Massachusetts when they first came into the NHL in the 79-80 season because they had a storm hit them, a winter storm, I'm supposing. but winter storms could be just as bad as the summer storms. One of the worst storms I've ever been in my life was a winter storm here in Tampa in I want to say either 93 or 94 in March. And we'll get back to that in a minute. It is Hartford with a scoring chance. It would appear they get it. And they'll play that song again. It's Nylander assisted by Yake and Kerr, and it's 1-0 Whalers. Want to say it was 93, could be 94. We had one of the great storms of all time come through, and it wreaked havoc all up and down the East Coast. Interference against Rob Ramage, so Hartford might have a chance to consolidate their lead here on the power play. And here in Tampa, we had hurricane force winds. And we don't usually get freezes in March, but it was 32 on Monday morning here in Tampa, the Monday after the storm. The storm hit Friday night, Saturday morning. 3.5 minutes to go. And Hartford has gone up 2-0. Craven assisted by Ravik. I was coming home on that Friday night. It was not too far after the storm had passed, and there were trees in the road all over the place. And I couldn't sleep that night because back when I was living in my original home in Largo, well, not my original home, but the home I grew up in, I was still living there in either 93 or 94 when this happened. End of the first period, it's 2-0 in favor of Hartford. We had a satellite dish, and I'm laying down in my bedroom, and I could see the satellite dish, the pole, moving around, and I was just afraid I was going to get hit by it. And fortunately, that didn't happen. If you ever see a storm coming, back in the days of the satellite dish, which are no longer around, always set your satellite to SATCOM 1, and you won't have a problem. And that's happened before, where we've had very strong, we used to have strong thunderstorms. Goaltender interference against Jansen's, and the Lightning have a power play. They're trailing 2-0 with the shots being even at 14. Back in the days of satellite dish, like I said, if you don't move your satellite dish all the way down, you could run into trouble, and the dish will just flip into an unnatural position. And Bergevin cuts the deficit 2-1. But I haven't had a dish since the early 90s. It turned out to be a white elephant for me. Matt Rupke called for holding, and Hartford will go on the power play. Seeing a few players on this Lightning team I haven't seen before charging against Riki, so now it's a 5-on-3 once I hit play. There we go. Yuri Slager called for hooking, so the penalty box getting full. It's 4-on-3 in favor of Hartford, or at least it is at this very moment. One of the power plays over with, the other power play is over with, and all power plays are over with. All penalties have been sentenced and adjudged. Hartford leading on shots 2017. They have a 2-1 lead. 53-15 into this video. So we should be over with it. It's going to be close to see if we can get another game in. Adam Burt roughing Tampa Bay with another power play. Shots are now even 21-all. An interesting game. Cunnyworth, say that name slowly, called for boarding. It's now the 5-on-3 for the Lightning with 7 minutes to go. And here's a scoring chance for them. They get it. Johnson has equalized it. DeMaio and Crossman. And we're tied 2-2. No, I'm not going to do the dog joke again. 6.5 minutes left, second period. And we're back to even strength. Shots are 27-21 now in favor of the Bolts. As we play this fifth game, I usually do 5 games for you to make this an hour package. And if you are still with me when this is first available at 54 minutes in, I thank you for sticking in. Adam Burt called for hooking. And now Tampa Bay with another power play chance. Of course, we just played this same matchup in the 2 games ago. Rob DeMaio interference, so we're at it's going to be 4-on-4, and then Hartford with a delay power play. And the Bolts won 1-0, and they outshot Hartford 52-12. This has been a bit even, more even, 28-21, and a dead even score on the scoreboard. Lightning lost 7. They have won 2, and now they're trying to win 3. But I'd even settle for a tie here on the road. Now Hartford with a scoring chance to go up. Now the Lightning have it. Could they score and take a lead? But Hartford has it again. Of course, this goal very critical. Lightning have it. Hartford has it. And they score. They go up 3-2. They go back up, second lead of the game. Sanderson assisted by Slager and Verbeek. And it's 3-2. Can the Lightning equalize? They have a scoring chance. Let's get Brian Bradley off the schneid. He hasn't had a goal in quite a while. And they get it. And Bradley gets the assist, so he gets a point for the first time in a few games. Hammerlick got the goal. Zomner got the other assist. And we're at 3-3 early in the third. No, I don't have a joke for a 3-3 score. Hartford comes right back. Could they score and take a lead? Take their third lead of the game. No, it's Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay on a breakaway. Zamner assisted by Hammerlick and Bradley again with the assist. So Tampa Bay with the lead for the first time in the game, 4-3. End-to-end action in this one. Hartford looks like they have another scoring chance. Can they tie? Now Tampa Bay has it. And they get another goal. 5-3. Veritsky. Bradley with his third assist of the game. Kenny Johnson got the other. Look at the Bolts go here. 5-3 now. They have a 2-goal lead. But I have a feeling we're not done the way this third period has gone. We've already had 4 goals in just 6 minutes. (35-26). The Lightning lead on shots. And a penalty on sportsmanlike conduct against Somner. So the Whalers with a power play. And back and forth we go. So if Hartford converts, it's a 1-goal game. And nothing winds up happening. Penalty was killed. Which is the one thing the Lightning can do well at this point of their in their lives. The second season of theirs. Of course, now they are in, I'm trying to think, like their 28th or 29th season. And they've won 2 Stanley Cups. Don't think they'll win a third. The way things have been going, they started out strong, but they've kind of slacked off a little bit as this grind of a schedule that they have been on has continued. It's April 13th, and then they don't get to the playoffs until May, so they're probably not going to end their season until like around July or so. 4 minutes left to go in the third. It's 5-3. We're at 58-22 on the timer. So this will be our last game. If the Whalers get it, it's 5-4. If the Lightning get it, it's 6-3. And the Whalers get it. Castle is assisted by Cunningworth and Weinrich. 5-4, and the Bolts will have to sweat out this last 3 minutes. And they pick up a penalty right away. Crossman, delay of game, so Hartford with a power play to tie. With 2.5 minutes to go and 1 minute left in the power play. Hartford not pulling their goalie. Teams at even strength. Empty net for Hartford. And Rookie called for a hooking, and that's going to kill off Hartford's chances, I would think. Still an empty net to make it 5-on-5. It's over. The Bolts win 3 in a row. Bolts win 3 in a row after losing 7 in a row. 5-4 in this one. Bradley with his 4 assists. He had 4 assists in this game. I thought he had 3. Verbeek 2 assists, and Zomner and a goal and an assist. Nobody had a bad game. And the Bolts end this series of games on a high mark. And I have 18 seconds left in an hour. So we'll just go over the summaries. Ryan Bradley had a strong night. That's being mentioned. Of course, we just saw that. Craig Janney of St. Louis had a four assist game and a 4-1 St. Louis win over Montreal. Igor Korolev also had a strong game, 3 goals and no assists in that very same game. Pavel Bure had his goal streak go to 5 and then to 6. Adam Oates, a memorable game with the Bruins beating the Devils 6-3. He had no goals and 4 assists. Benoit Hogue, suspended and is out 3 games, which you will not see because by the time I come back, we'll be somewhere in April. The Brett Hull suspension ended. Thomas Steen with a goal and 4 assists in a 7-1 Winnipeg win over Toronto. And Adam Creighton might be coming back soon. In fact, let me AI the roster. And we will show you before we go that we are now still in 11th place at 69 points. I'm sorry, we've played 69 games and we have 61 points. 8th place is Washington, and we're 10 points behind them with about 15 games to play. So that'll do it for this weekly episode of FHM 7 Birth of the Bolts. Hope you all enjoyed it. This has been Big Paulie coming to you. Wishing you well, Godspeed, and God bless everybody. We'll do it again soon. Bye-bye for now, everybody.